Hey everyone, Monique here. I am a kindergarten through fourth grade education specialist where I work as a special education teacher. I help parents with the pre, peri, and post IEP process. So, in this video, I'm going to talk to parents, to you, about the difference between accommodations and modifications. What is that? What are those? So, accommodations are just that. They accommodate or help students with the expected assignment. So, for example, a multiplication table. Let's say that your child is expected to complete a multiplication worksheet, but they have a challenging time with multiplication. Well, an accommodation is that your child can use a multiplication table to complete that expected assignment. So you might ask me, Monique, isn't that multiplication table a crutch? Aren't accommodations a crutch for my child and not learn their multiplication facts because they are using that table? Well, no. Let me give you a comparison. Let's say that you are new to a job and your boss gave you a task list to follow because you are new at it. You don't know how to thoroughly fulfill that responsibility. Well, you refer to that task list every day or throughout the day until eventually it fades out. Because why? Because you refer to it consistently to get that job done. It was through repetition that now you don't need to use the task list and you just know your job without any accommodation. It's the same thing when it comes to accommodations. Let's say with that example with the multiplication table, your child is going to use that multiplication table consistently, and then eventually as they use it, it's going to fade out and they won't need it any longer because they used it so much. That is the goal with accommodations. So, what is a modification? A modification is changing or modifying the expected assignment, but with the same goal in mind. So, for example, let's take multiplication again. Well, what if your child has a challenging time with multiplying and they can't do that multiplication worksheet like their same aged peers are able to do? What is the concept that children need to master before multiplying? Well, it is repeated addition. So it's not just we're changing the assignment and we're completely doing a whole different one without it having to relate to the expected assignment. No, we're actually thinking ahead and thinking about what does my child need to know in order to complete this assignment. Well, again, with this example, repeated addition needs to be mastered before multiplying. So, with your child can be expected to complete repeated addition worksheets. As they master the repeated addition, then with that same goal in mind, they can be expected to complete multiplication worksheets. So, again, a modification is changing or modifying the assignment with the same goal in mind. So, that is the difference between accommodations and modifications. Accommodations and modifications are both helpful and useful in children's learning. It's useful and helpful in students who don't qualify for an IEP. I just want to encourage you, parent, that if your child needs accommodations or modifications, quite honestly, they aren't the only ones. I encourage my students all the time, whenever they feel embarrassed, to take out a multiplication table when they see the students around them not have to take it out. I encourage them and remind them that they aren't the only ones that are using accommodations. Their peer probably is wearing glasses, or they need that visual schedule that's on the whiteboard, even though the teacher probably didn't intentionally put that visual schedule on the whiteboard for their peer, your child's peer, but your child peer is gaining a benefit from that visual schedule on the whiteboard. So I want to encourage you again, parent, that accommodations and modifications, everybody uses them and they're a benefit, they're beneficial for everybody. Now, knowing what the difference between accommodations and modifications are, you can go into those IEP meetings confidently. being able to contribute to that conversation as they go on that services page and talk about accommodations and modifications, because you know your child best. You are going to know what your child needs in the classroom. Do you think they would need a multiplication table? Do you think they will need a 100 chart? Do you think that they will need their assignment shortened? It's up to you, and you are a contributing factor to the IEP meeting. You are part of the IEP team. So if you have any questions about accommodations or modifications or anything else about special education, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to click that notification bell to be reminded and to be notified when my next video goes live. And I'll see you next time. Bye.